Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, number one talk in the IE. Thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Well, that's a good question because lately I've been feeling it in all the places. But I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness because, frankly, my dear, there are so many headlines. Every single headline out there right now will leave you with one of the four A's: angry, aggravated, anxious, and or afraid. And I don't want to do that. I want you to feel amazing. 1A. And that's why I have topics and guests and hosts and co-hosts and series to that end. And today's no exception. You all know her and love her. She's my Wednesday hump day favorite co-host. She's a U.S. Navy veteran, OBGyn, poet, songwriter, singer, children's book author, poet. Did I say that already? But she's here in studio every Wednesday with me to make sure you start your day in the most positive way. Please welcome back to my studio, Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Woody, whoop, whoop, whoop.
It is a happy Wednesday. It is any day where I get to live, love, laugh, and learn is a day that I love. And guess what? We already have a captain in our cashew gallery. April, good morning. She's been a great supporter a long time. She's resurfaced to come and say hello in the mornings. And let's see. What did I miss? I've been doing this every single day for every weekday morning for 705 consecutive weeks. And this is podcast number 1511, I believe. And we start every single show in the morning with breakfast. And no, I do not have Uber Eats at your door, but I do have an invitation to take a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun, you go like this and you look around you and say, what am I grateful for? And then tonight, before you go to bed, we're going to model it for you now. You look inside and say, what do I like about myself? So, Dr. Tiffanie, start us off. What are you grateful for?
Well, last week was All Hallows Eve, Halloweeny, and I had the opportunity to have candy with my sister cousin. All the beautiful children came with their lovely costumes, and we had a fabulous time. And her neighbors, they had like a clown theme, and even the children were dressed as clowns and they chased people. And it was cute because the father was Pennywise and the children were like torturous, scary clowns. And it was very cute. And they had the Dodger game going on because, you know, I have on my Dodger jersey. And so it was a great time. And of course, the Dodgers won. Go team. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, that is my first gratitude. Talk about I don't know how many times I said we need a miracle, and we got a miracle and more. So grateful that
Mhm.
we pulled it off, and grateful that I got the assignment to go and film the parade to send up to the news. You may have seen my clips on Spectrum or ABC. Those are the ones that usually use my New York news agency clips that sends me on assignment. And that was super fun. It kind of embarrassing. There was a place I could have stood for press that was higher, right, with the KTLA guys. And I had a skirt on. Well, it was a blue skirt, right, with my Dodger jacket. It was very cute, but not functional to stand on the parapet. But I still got a some good clips. They got downloaded immediately, and then I put a little clip that's getting like 750 views or whatever just on my social doc balance on Instagram. So hey, I did the job, and I'm so grateful that we live in a city that has an organization that is so diversity friendly that I'm just so thrilled about that.
Absolutely. I think that's fabulous. I think that's awesome. And another thing that I'm grateful for, I am a part of what's called the Veteran Chamber Group.
Mm,
And had the opportunity to go to Los Alamitos, and we were recognized and appreciated among other veteran groups. And they recognize all branches of the military. And it was great because the very first Green Beret was there, and we had Navy SEAL, had Marines, and it was fabulous. And they had all the female veterans who were there come forward and be recognized. And it was just a beautiful experience. And we had Vietnam veterans stand up and be recognized. And you can just feel the love and the appreciation
mm,
because a lot of people don't recognize the sacrifice that people made, and people who were on the front line, people who were cooks, because every job in the military is necessary, whether you were on the front line or whether you stayed back and you were the secretary or you were the cook, you played a pivotal role. And I think it's important, especially as we approach Veterans Day, to appreciate every single veteran. And as a veteran, I want to say thank you to all my federal veterans.
yes, thank you for your service, including my dad, my bonus dad, who served in the Korean War. He's 95. He still gets teared up. And then uh, my mom was unofficially adopted by a Russian Jewish. My grandmother Blum, my grandma Blum, and her husband Carl served in 2 wars, and he was a cook. So just yeah. So thank you all, and you, Dr. Tiffany. Very proud to have you as a co-host and a Navy veteran. And you can do more than just thank you for your service and clap. You can join me this Saturday at Lowry's, where I am speaking at the Heaven and Earth Oasis, which is a 501c, one of the organizations that I support. Part of the solution that helps veterans. They offer free holistic healing modalities for veterans, and I support that. So you can come and join me in Beverly Hills at the Lowry's Prime Rib, best Yorkshire pudding in the world. And I'd like to put up here, April is grateful for a light work week with lots of time for rest and reflection. Awesome. And she is that's bottom of the bun. We'll do that one in a minute. But one more, Dr. Tiffany, what are you grateful for?
And I am grateful that I had a wonderful time because we had a sorority meeting. And I'm always grateful when I have an opportunity to spend time with my fellow sorority sisters. And they are very supportive of me because this weekend was the anniversary of my mom's passing, and
Mm.
that's always difficult for me. And when I went to pay my respects, because of course this was Dia de los Muertos, and I went to the cemetery, and it looked as if her gravesite had been desecrated. Right. And so I was kind of torn up and in pieces. And I reached out to one of my sorority sisters, and she was there for me, and she was very supportive of me. And that was part of the reason why I picked the topic, and we'll go into that a little bit later.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry to hear that. And I am sorry for your, I don't want to call it loss anymore. I'm sorry that you miss her because she's not lost. Like my mom and my dad, they are on the other side, loving us from there, but certainly understanding the the recognition of that. So peace and comfort to you and your family on that one. I am grateful that I also um, get to be a celebrity model tomorrow night. So you're invited. Another thing to invite you to, and this includes you, Dr. Tiffany. I know your schedule's crazy, which is why I didn't tell you about it before. But just in case, I'm going to be a celebrity model at it's a design in motion in Los Angeles on La Cienega. It's at an art gallery, and my designer, who I've been, doing celebrity modeling for, she is there with David Levine, and who's a well-renowned artist with like pieces. And we're going to have a great time at that fashion show. So if you're free, you can come join me. And all of this information is on my social doc balance. Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's see. What else do we have? We have, let's go to the bottom of the bun. The bottom of the bun is weight training for your mental health. It is my BS, my belief system that your good mental health starts with self care, self love, self soothing, self approval. And a lot of us grew up with well meaning parents, sometimes more mean than well, who said, don't toot your own horn. You're not all that. Who do you think you are? And as a result, we have several generations who go looking for likes in all the wrong places, literally on social media. Who likes me? How many people like me? And instead, I want you to like yourself first and foremost. Because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to? So, what do you like about yourself, Dr. Tiffany?
I like the fact that I now know when I can walk away from certain things. I remember growing up, I had a pastor, and God rest her soul, she has also passed away. And her name was Marilyn Lovely. And she said, things that are dead need to be buried. And certain relationships, certain jobs, um, just certain things in your life, and be it emotional baggage, things like that. And if it's dead, it needs to be buried. And it
Mm.
took me some time to get to that point, whether you are carrying emotional baggage, whether you are carrying certain aspects of your relationships. But if it's dead, you need to let it go, and it needs to be buried.
Absolutely. I appreciate my ability to burn 8 different candles at both ends, waking up with Molly Ringwald, 16 candles. I appreciate my ability to, um I have the energy, uh, and those who said, "Maybe you got the blood clots because you needed to slow down," and I didn't like that, and I know it was well-meaning, but, honestly, folks, I'm more busy now that I'm on the ground, and I really, as much as it's a little bit crazy making, I love making maximum use of my, time and energy, and I squeeze life by the balls, as they say, or as I say. Here's April's appreciation of herself. She loves her ability to calmly adapt through fluctuating conditions and the variety of ways that she's musical. All right. One more?
And I love my voice. I never really appreciated it's my speaking voice. I was complimented on it a few times now, and I was complimented on it when I attended campaign school in Chicago with the American Medical Association. And then I was complimented on it by two other people. And they said, Tiffany, you really have a calming voice. And patients had mentioned it before, and I just took it like a grain of salt. But remember when I was volunteering and the children were like, yay, way to go, me. And now
Yeah.
that now that I've thought about it, I was like, okay, way to go, me. I've never really thought about my voice being calming, being soothing, but as more and more people have complimented me on my voice, not just like my singing voice or anything like that. Now, I have received compliments on my singing voice, and I have been dismissive about that too, but my speaking voice. And I guess I really do have a calming, smooth speaking voice, and people have complimented me on that. So now I'm going to embrace that, walk into that, and own it and use it as an empowerment.
There you go. As you should. It's funny that on the day you were born book, I was born on the day of the Velvet Voice. And that was before I knew I was going to be doing radio or singing. And the same applies to you. There you go.
Way to go.
Way to go. Yeah. Way to go. Yeah. What was it? What did the kids
Way
say?
to go, me.
Way to go, me. Way to go, us. Yeah. And the way I do that, is this. That cheer has stayed with me throughout when I first got started at UBN all the way to now. That's a good cheer. I love that. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. You can join me every weekday morning because this is how I start out this show, not to just not talk about the headlines that make you the 4 A's, but starting the day in the most positive way. And it's a good life habit. So hopefully you'll join me every weekday morning to do so. Thanks for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. Dr. Tiffany, what's the topic of the day?
We are talking about green lights in relationships. And so this is a good topic. As I mentioned before, when I went to my mom's site, I was in pieces. On my way to the cemetery, I tend to get emotional. And I remember talking to one of my sorority sisters, and she was so encouraging and so reassuring. And I just felt so much love and so much support. And I just thought that that was such a beautiful green light. And I figured this will be such a beautiful thing to talk about because, like you said, there's so much negativity in the world. And a lot of times people talk about red lights and things to be wary of. What if we talked about the positivity and the support? Because a lot of times, green lights in relationships can be beautiful, whether it's in jobs, whether it's in friendships, and whether it is in relationships, because it is the opposite of red flags. And I thought, well, what is it that is good about green lights? So let's take this topic, smack it, flip it up, rub it down.
I don't even want to learn how to say that. Like, I love it, but I don't even want, because I know I'm going to end up slipping up somehow and saying something wrong that I will myself get an FCC violation against. But great topic. And of course, when she texted it to me, my immediate warped mind went to red light, green light game on the Squid
Squid
Game. with the swiveling, innocent looking girl doll. And then the second thought, which again, is being single, that seems to be the overlay. But I thought it was a brilliant way of reframing how we always talk about deal breakers. And what you've done is you slapped it upside down to make it about deal makers. And I obviously applied it to my dating, and you applied it to all relationships, which is what we do here, because I make it all about my current situation, because that's good for me. But a great topic, Dr. Tiffany, and look forward to finding out all the things that you, I'm sure, have researched on it, as well as, we live our life out loud here on the show because we're not perfect. And Dr. Tiffany is the MD. I'm the PhD, which just stands for piled high and deeper, knowing that, and I haven't done this in a while, we're not giving medical advice here, but we are reflecting on our own experience. We're both also coaches. So giving you a little bit of coaching so that we can all come out of this particular episode and all the shows and life being as happy as we possibly can, focused on things that make us feel better and not worse. So there's your disclaimer. All right, go.
So I want to start with one study. So we're going to start with the science, and then we're going to go into the application. So there was a Harvard study that shows that 78%, which is a pretty nice number, 78% of happy couples showed trust within 6 months. So if you're looking for healthy positivity, those green lights, 78% of happy couples showed trust within 6 months. So instead of like saying, okay, what can we do? Let's look at the foundation of that green light. So we're looking for some trust. And so that mutual trust is like open communication, healthy boundaries, and supportive growth. Support growth. So those are some of those things. So we want to avoid those red flags. Okay. So and those red flags, things like controlling behavior, dishonesty, lack of respect, poor communication, and isolation. So
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Now let me just illustrate the trust issue. I can't even seem to make, and it's not 6 months, but swipe or no swiping, right? You're gorgeous, you're beautiful. How was your weekend? How was your day? Nice to match with you, whatever it is. And then, because I'm all about time is my most valuable resource, so not a lot of small talk, a little bit, but I want to make sure, we align on, I'm allergic to cats. I'm allergic to one side of the political spectrum, and I'm allergic to the valley. I can't, 3 things in life I don't understand: vandalism, terrorism, and why people live in the valley. So when it says Los Angeles, if they're in the valley, I can't do it. It's just too far. So I say that, and then, banter back and forth. And then if they pass that, then I say, if you leave me your number, I promise not to put it on the bathroom wall, to see if they are in the same sense of humor as me. And I can text you to set up a time where we can get to know each other better without interruption. Right. So that's what I say. And it's not that difficult. No. So I've had 2 consecutively now say, or 3. Today was 2. Yesterday was 1. Why don't you give me your number? And then I say, I ask first, and they say, ladies first. And it's like, if you're gonna do this right off the bat, like, talk about no trust, right? And I understand there are scammers out there and whatever. I'm a public figure. You can tell I'm not, I'm not asking you to go to WhatsApp, right? And then it happened again this morning. Oh, that's smooth. Why don't you give me your number? And it's like, you know what? No trust. And if it's this difficult in the first request, talk to the hand.
Yeah. And so when it comes to building trust, they broke it down into like four categories. You want some consistency, some honesty, accountability, and reliability. And so the consistency is based on their words matching their action. Their honesty is that they're truthful even when it's uncomfortable. And the accountability, when you're talking about their giving out their phone number, they can admit when they're wrong and make genuine efforts to improve. And so when they're reluctant to give you their phone number, that tells you that they don't want to take action. And so you want that reliability where you can count on them and they follow through on a promise. Now, if they can't take one simple action, as giving you a phone number, I think
You can
that's
always block, like,
yes. I
sorry.
think,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. So we are actually agreeing right here. When it comes to a simple act of exchanging phone numbers, I think that is definitely a flag. You can color it however you want,
Yeah.
but
That's a movement on the Squid Game a playground. That would be a shooting right there.
Mhm. Because when it comes to the green lights, you definitely want an aspect of some respect and equality. You want respect for your boundaries, where they honor and respect your limits, because you want some emotional, physical, and social respect. And when it comes to a phone number, you can always block them. And even if they get a phone number, a different phone number, you can always block that one too. And you can always say, hello, I don't want to talk to you. Good morning, Mom G. Welcome to the conversation. And
Ah. Hi,
you
Monty. Love you.
you want to support their individuality, and you want them to support yours as well, because it's
Mhm.
just a phone call.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost wanted to respond and say, nothing smooth about this, but your inability to follow the first request is very telling, and then unmatch. Now I've calmed down a bit. I don't even need to respond. I can just unmatch, because that's telling you what that the topic you picked several weeks ago. Believe people when they're telling you who they are. So,
Mm.
and isn't it in the old days that was impolite to ask a lady for their number? Wasn't it the gentleman's prerogative, or the responsibility to do that? I just, like, I'm like appalled, and at the same time, and this is the closest, Dr. Tiffany, I have ever gotten to saying, you know, it's just, I've tried it. I've tried online dating. It's coming up on 2 years in January. I think I'm done. Like, today was the first day where I went, this is just not working. But thank you for the finger. Somebody gave us a thumbs up, not the other finger, on the part that we're agreeing on, is that, that is definitely not a green light when someone is uh, interpreting your ask for a number as a smooth or whatever. And then on the other hand, I do think that I haven't been giving enough kudos to those men who have automatically given their number when I ask for it. So that's the other balancing part, because I'm all about
Well,
balance.
there should be shared effort. The relationship should be balanced, where both of you invest time and energy. And I think that that is key, because that is a green light when both of you are sharing the effort, and there should be mutual respect, because differences are accepted without trying to fix each other when there's true green lights. And if you're trying to start a relationship and there's an imbalance, well, that can be of a concern because you want open communication. And if you're starting and you can't even communicate, flag. I was a soccer
What
referee.
the fork?
I'm throwing a red card. I can't play
Crazy.
sidelines. I was a soccer
Crazy.
referee, and I'm pulling out a red card on that play.
Yeah, thank you. Um, can you close out a couple of your windows? You're just having a little bit of Voldemort every once in a while. So if it
Here,
gets worse, I'll ask you to go out and come back in. But it is time to take a quick break for news, weather, and traffic on this NBC News Radio channel, KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. AM 1050, FM 106.5. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And we'll be back in 2 and 2, as Chuck Wooler used to say. I say peace in and peace out. Don't go away. Doctor's in the house with myself, and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
we'll be back right away.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate. I am a physician and I served as a general medical officer for the United States Navy. I am currently a veteran running for Congress. And I am a mother. And I want to be your next congressperson here in the 40th district. I am running to help you have better health care, to have better education, and to help your family and friends. Visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. That is DrTateForCongress.com. Please learn more about me. Consider making a donation to my campaign. Help me help you. Visit Dr. Tate for Congress and donate to my campaign. Sow a seed and help me be a blessing. I'm a trustee for my church, and I know that I can make a difference on Capitol Hill. Paid for by Dr. Tate for Congress.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And here is the website for Dr. Tiffanie Tate for Congress. I couldn't get to that button in time. I wanted to give you that as well. I want to invite you to my own events that are coming up tomorrow. I told Beata I would bring this up for her. I am now a celebrity model who is doing stuff with a great, she's a sustainable, good for the planet designer. And Sarah Jessica Parker, you can move over because I am definitely doing some wonderful. I get to do some runway work. This is coming up tomorrow from 5:30 to 9. I want you to come and enjoy both art and music. I mentioned it at the beginning, and all of her clothes have a message. And also go to nonprofit. I'll be wearing a jacket that has tigers in it because that supports the tigers that are going extinct. So I just wanted to bring that up so that you can join me there. Thanks for supporting all of the work of my sponsors.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And
Hello,
we're back.
everyone.
I've never done that one before. My 16 candles is catching up with me. But we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course, my YouTube TV channel that houses all 1,511 of my podcasts, TV shows, and 4.2 million impressions. Thank you so much for your continued support. And today is my very special popular series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
and with the velvet voice. And today's topic is
Green light.
in your relationships, romantic or otherwise. So, what else do you have?
So some people may say, listen, Doc, that sounds all nice and fluffy, but how do I know if it's a red light or a green light? And so here's a scenario. If you have a conversation and you think it's a hard conversation and you feel relaxed and calm after that hard conversation, that's a green light. And I have had some of those because some people respect your limits. They respect your boundaries. There's no guilt tripping. There's no pushing. That's a good sign. Have you had some of those?
Not lately, no. Yeah, non-romantic, absolutely. I think this new partnership that I have with Beata J Story, her collection is called Beata J Collection, was so easy. You know, you meet somebody. I met her a while back, and then we reconnected at one of the fashion shows that I get to judge. I think you know about those. And we just clicked, and I love her clothing, and I've gotten to model it. I got to meet Samuel Jackson on Sunday night, who was an honoree of the Quincy Jones Award at Manuela Testolini, who's Prince's ex-wife, and Eric Benet, my friend, jazz musician's current wife, and their two beautiful kids. And the whole event was amazing, but I got to wear one of her designs. So I've been wearing a lot of her, which is unusual for me because I, am a fashionista, closet designer. But that relationship was like, we went from I love your clothes to, we're texting each other like all love. And we find out we have a lot of people in common. And she loves, my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith. Her teacher was very good friends with him. He ends up giving the convocation at the event. I didn't know he was, so all of these positive, green, easy flow relationships. The issue, I believe, is that we maybe take those for granted and we focus on the ones that are red lights more so than the ones that are green lights. And that's on us. 99 compliments, one criticism, and your mind goes to the criticism. So what I'm learning from this conversation with you, thank you very much, is to focus on those green light relationships and, talk to the hand on the red one.
Absolutely, absolutely. And appreciate those green lights because a lot of times we don't even realize it and we do take it for granted. Because a big green light is when you actually talk about things, even when it's the awkward stuff, without feeling scared or judged. And it's okay to feel scared. But as long as you don't feel judged in the process, like when you can say, hey, that hurt my feelings. And instead of getting defensive, they say, oh, I didn't realize that. Thanks for telling me. That's a green light. Sometimes people don't get defensive and they make you feel emotionally safe. And when somebody is your emotional safe haven, that's a green light. And it's nice to have somebody who welcomes you and they are your emotional safe haven. Because when you have that, you feel welcomed and you feel supported.
Absolutely. Um, how many green light relationships is manageable? This is a question that, I used to be very sensitive about the fact that I didn't think I had a best friend. And what I've learned is I have a best friend in a number of different people. Like, I don't have one that is everything to me, but I have, palm of my hand 5 because it takes time to manage relationships. And you were talking earlier about holding Mom T hostage when you call her and, make her listen to you vent, which is, obviously
Yeah,
one of the activities of a good friend
yeah,
or
and
a
she's
good
my safe
female.
haven. She's my green light.
Right. Right. So what's your was there any like statistics on that or
Yeah, I tried to look for that and pin that down, but it was very vague and because they could not really pinpoint it as far as a specific number. But I do know that when people do have emotional safety and they're able to bond with other people, they live longer
Hmm.
and they do better.
Interesting. Interesting. So that whole adage that I know I used when I got piss offedness at people, and I would say, fine, I'll take my toys and go live on a desert island by myself. I don't need you. You don't know me. How dare you judge me? I don't need people. I can survive on my own. That's not true.
Well, you
Right?
can't survive on your own. You just will survive shorter.
Ha
Your
ha ha.
longevity will not be as long as it could be if you were surrounded and supported.
Copy that. Copy that.
Right.
So,
Right.
green lights, what I've learned from this episode is to focus on green lights. Green lights, you were saying, are easy, that feeling of ease. Am I having more of a positive feeling, right?
Mhm.
If I'm angry or irritated or aggravated, it's probably not a green light. That's the guys that won't give me their number unless I do mine first. The other thing is, I do know some people though who they're the ones that say, I am drama, therefore I am. And they like that rush of hair on fire feeling, which is
Mhm.
why news stations put on if it bleeds, it leads. Speak to that if
Well,
you would.
conflict can be productive. So I'm not saying you cannot have conflict. So I'm
Well,
not saying you live in la
yeah.
la because conflict can be productive, but it should not tear the house down in the process. And as long as you can work through the conflict. And that's the key. Now, if conflict leads to lack of communication, that's a problem because you should be able to communicate through the conflict. If conflict leads to silence and lack of communication, and you cannot communicate through the conflict, and conflict leads to silence, and conflict leads to distance, and conflict leads to shutdown,
Yeah.
then that's an issue. You must
Well,
be able to communicate through it.
I'm going to tell on myself, I am not good with conflict at all. In fact, up until maybe a couple of years ago, as soon as there was conflict, talk to the hand, I'm out. And that has been my MO. And I know that it's from my past. It's still oversized baggage that has impacted because I was extremely screamed at a lot, right? And cursed at, and the whole dasani in Chinese means I'm going to beat you to death. So anytime there's a raised voice, anytime I hear bickering, anytime someone says no to me, I'm out. And um I was okay with that until I realized that that is 100% correlated with my inability to have intimate relationships. So I've been working really um concertedly to try to be okay with that. But I got to be honest, it still is. I don't um if you told me I had a choice, those childhood games, would you rather, right? If would you rather spend the rest of your life with like no conflict, or would you rather spend your life with in one intimate relationship? Honestly, I don't know what I would choose. Like after this morning and what happened to me this morning with those guys, I'm like, no, I think we're good. I'm my own best friend. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. I love my life, and yeah, talk to the hand. So it is something that I'm working on. So there's my confession for the day.
Well, I think when it comes to relationships, there's the joy, there's affection, there's the emotional intimacy, and the joy. There is joy, there's the laughter, there's the jokes.
But I can
And
do that on my own.
well, yeah, you can. You can tell yourself jokes, but we underestimate how important laughter and play are in healthy love. And you've just been experiencing that sour part, that moldy part. But when you experience healthy love, it's different. And you've seen it in supportive friendships.
Oh
You
no,
just
no,
need
I
to see.
have that. I
No,
have
no,
that.
I'm just saying you just need to see it in a romantic
Right.
way.
I don't
And
have that.
maybe you are on the wrong sites.
No, I think I'm on I shouldn't be on sites, period. That's what
And
I'm
that
what
might
I'm
be
looking for.
true.
Yeah.
That just might be true. But it may not be in big romantic gestures. It might be in little drive safe text messages, inside jokes, soft check-ins, but you just have to get to the right person, or the right person has to get to you.
That
And
is
so
more accurate.
right. Absolutely. So if you're listening, Mr. Right, can you get through the Mr. Wrongs and get to Dr. Marissa? Um, so because
Oh,
I
she's
know you're
acting
out
as my matchmaker.
there.
Dr.
Absolutely.
Tiffany.
Absolutely, because we know you are out there, and so because we know that when you feel seen for who you really are, he will love you for all your quirks and all, and that deep emotional intimacy will be there for you, and all those green lights will break through and will get you to the next level that will elevate you.
Did you just call me quirky?
Of course, we're both quirky.
I'd rather say I'm one of a kind, wonderful, 88% fabulous, 12% of the time I step in it. There you go. But yeah, so green lights, what are some green lights in a relationship? Obviously, not fighting and giving me your number when I ask for it, but what are other green lights that I should be looking for in a guy?
Honest, open communication, respect and boundaries, consistency and accountability, shared growth and aligned values, joy, affection, and making sure that you are seen. Those are the keys.
So, if you meet all of those green lights, please do contact Dr. Tiffany. Send your picture and your statistics. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, size of hand. No,
I
I'm
will
just
pre-screen.
Lord Almighty. Yeah, it's, if I look at my life, I was married. I do everything once. I was married, divorced. And then I look at my dating and I look at some of the relationships. This is going to be like the saddest thing to say, but I don't believe that I've really had a healthy, balanced, intimate, romantic relationship. So I guess if I see it like that and I do everything once, that might be enough motivation to continue putting myself out there.
Yeah, and I say definitely continue, put yourself out there. And remember, be what you want to attract, and it will come to you, like that manifest destiny kind of thing. And
Mhm.
I believe it. And I know that you can get there. And I think it's important for us to never give up hope. Always know that tomorrow will bring a better day, a better relationship, and to not forget that until we take care of our heart and the hearts that we trust us with, we can focus on that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm reminded of someone who was on stage and they said, "Are you tired of saying, well, while you're dating, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't like that." And I think that is 100% pertinent to this conversation today, which is, again, as I said, full circle, focusing on the red lights instead of focusing on the green lights. That definitely hit the mark today for me. That's why I love this show. It's a, yeah, I appreciate when people say I love your show and da 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 da, and that's great. But honestly, this show is for me because it's my show.
Mission,
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Matthew McConaughey, he said, in time, yesterday's red lights leads us to a green light. So
Mm,
all those cautionary relationships help define what we don't like and help lead us to what we like so that we can
yeah.
find those true green lights.
Yeah. And I hate it when I have to do this, but I have to take my own advice, which is uh, you know, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I've accepted the fact that I'm not perfect now. I've stopped trying to be perfect because it's a disease. Perfection is a disease with life. And maybe I'm learning at what point do I allow my dates to be imperfect? Like, I don't want to date potential or imperfection right away, but I think, you know, please God, can I get to a first date? I can't even get to a first date. I'm like, 8,000 matches and only 800 of them make it to the phone and a video chat. And of those, only 36 have made it to a first date, but who's counting? Two to a second date, one to a third date, one to a fourth date. So my girlfriend Amory gets a kick out of my stats, but it's exhausting. Like, I want the joy, Dr. Tiffany. I want that joy like now. I don't want to wait. Like, please, can we have like a fun, joyful matching?
Maybe that's what we need. We need one of those speed date matching parties. Remember back in the day they had those speed date parties? Those
Yeah,
in-person speed date parties?
yeah,
Maybe that's what we need
yeah,
to set up.
yeah, yeah. We could do that. I was thinking of
Mm.
approaching Bumble and making, my rec room, in the building. They always have like that public rec room,
Mhm.
a site for maybe. Although you can actually, I can do that. Dr. Tiffany, great idea. If people come, is this the one? Nope, that's not it. If people come tomorrow to La Cienega, they can actually meet me. Let's see if it's going to come up here. Tomorrow, 5:30. This is where I'll be. You can come and check me out. I can check you out. It's a free
You
event.
heard it here, folks.
9:16. Huh?
I said you heard it here, folks.
Exactly. There's a way that you can join me either there tomorrow night, and I'm going to give you another place to be. I'm actually speaking there, and this one's on Saturday. So there you go. There's our speed dating party, Dr. Tiffany. You can come and screen them at the door. This is 10 to 4 at they're both on La Cienega, and this is the Heaven and Earth Oasis veterans, and you'll be doing something for a good cause too. This one's not free, but the other one is. So there's my speed dating party for the week. You've got 2 locations to go to. Dr. Tiffany will meet you at the door. Last word, final word.
My final word is the right relationship will not make you guess, but it will help you become more of who God made you to be. So go with the green light, relax into it, fall into it, and enjoy the grace and joy of it.
My final word is green light, go. Red light, talk to the hand.
Green light,
Don't
go,
get
red light, no.
That's good too. Yellow light, go to the bathroom. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you, Dr. Tiffany, for making the hour go by quickly as usual. And here's the drill. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Dr. Tiffany, take it away.
Now go and have the best day ever.
Have a great one. I'm having some issues now with the with pulling up the clips to go out. It's not working, but hey, go and have the best day ever. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you. I'll see you tomorrow. I think I have another great. Oh yes, we have beating cancer with nutrition with Mark Simon. So make sure you come here and join me at 9 in the morning Pacific time. Have the best day ever. Thanks, Dr. Tiffany.
You're welcome.